Hi, I'm Streaky. Today I'm reviewing the Tegeler Creme EQ compressor. So before we get into the Tegeler Creme, let me show you the box it comes in. This is important for audio manufacturers. I suppose you've already paid your cash, so who cares by that stage, but lovely touch. It comes in a treasure chest, which is brilliant, isn't it? To have, when you open up your box and there it is, a lovely little treasure chest to put your leads and stuff in the studio. It's a nice bit of promo for them. It's a nice wooden box. I wouldn't sit on it, it's not that strong, but it's great just to have with all your bits and pieces in. Nice touch. I think more people need to do that. Anyway, on to the real juice. So Tegeler Creme. Now this is a kind of Paul Techie style EQ, shelving EQ across the top, and a SSL vibey compressor. Not really SSL, but it's kind of similar. So it's shelving EQ. It's kind of looks a little bit old schooly, but not too old schooly. They've got some nice sort of printed stuff. It's got, for the compressor side of it, it's got a side chain at 60 and 120 hertz. So you're not getting those sub-frequencies pulling down on the threshold, which is always useful. The box, you can't turn the EQ on, you can't run it as two separate things. Apart from if you've got the threshold right down on the compressor. You can have the EQ before or after the compressor, and I guess, you know, if you've got the EQ on 0 as well, then that's off, but there's no hard bypass is what I'm saying. There is on the whole unit, but not on each section. The EQ, the sound of the top end on the EQ is just superb. You can, when you first get it, I've mainly been using it around 10, 12, 16k, and as you're pushing into it, it's in dB steps up to 5 dB. Really, I could go 3 dB, which is unheard of for me in the top end, and it's just open. It's like just really open. So when you first start using it, you tend to use quite a lot of it just because it sounds so nice, and so it's not bright. When the word bright makes me feel like a harsh word, it's not a harsh sounding sound. It's just very open, and so it's just opening it up more and more and more. Now sometimes you don't want it that open, so you want to back that off, and sometimes you just want a smidge of open. So I've been kind of using about 1 or 2 dB, depending on how open I want that. And then obviously I've been moving up the frequencies as I've been using it, but I've been using it on pretty much everything since I've had it. Just because it's just so nice to have as a sheen across the top. It's a really lovely air band when it's high up, but it's just smooth. Even on 10k, obviously it's because it's shelving. You know, it's shelving much lower than that, but it's not a harsh, hard shelf at say 5k things. Sometimes when you put a 10k shelf on something, it can sound quite harsh on the vocals and make them sound a little bit thin and edgy, but this doesn't at all. This just really opens it up and gives a real sort of air feel. Really nice. The bottom end, it just warms things up, not in a tubey way, but just very warm. It doesn't make it muddy. I've been using, even though I use it at like 200 hertz, it just adds some really nice low end texture that you're able to then use another EQ to cut into, but it's just works so well. Now, going on to the compressor, with most compressors I find that I find a setting and then I like it, and then I use the compressor more for vibe and just getting a sound. That compressor has that sound, that compressor has that sound. So it took me a little bit just to get my head around, okay, now what's the setting for this? Because I know there's going to be a setting. So for me, I'm only talking, when I'm talking about using this, I'm talking just on your mix bus or as a mastering engineer. That is what I'm using it for, or what my suggestions would be for. So if you're using it for tracking, I don't know about that. I wouldn't, I'm sure it's amazing, but I haven't used it for that reason. So for mix bus or for mastering, I found that I like the 10 the 10 ratio on there, 10:1 ratio, and then I was finding the attack times were kind of a medium attack, which I kind of always find works well because it lets the initial attack of notes come through, but then it holds enough just to give it some glue. So that's kind of, you know, you're moving around all the time. It's track dependent, but you're sort of there and thereabouts. And then same with the release. I was finding I liked the fast release time, and if I just wanted to add a bit more of the sound of the unit and just, you know, thicken it a little bit, but it's, you know, very small, then I would be going from like 0.1 to 0.3. You know, it's still very fast release time, but enough so you can hear. With the threshold, once it grabs it, you can do very small, you know, they're very, very small. They're not just stepped there, it's just little notches. And you can, just by notching it up, I could just hear it closing in, which is great, because then you don't have to notch up too much. You can play with it through the track and just know, okay, that's fine, that's where I want it for that. You know, even on the chorus or the verse, you might want to just nudge it in a bit, glue the verse a little bit more, and then release it for the choruses so they feel open. So that kind of thing is a very quiet unit, so you can get away with that. There's no, you know, clicky sounds or anything. So that's superb. Now, it's pretty basic on the back, ins and outs, XLRs. This will hopefully be staying here. I've had it for a while. I've been putting off doing the review because I know as soon as I do the review, they're gonna phone me up and take it off me. So I've been quiet, but it's because the top end I'm just using it all the time. Now the compressor, I like the combination is great. Now these are my suggestions to get this to be, or how I could use it like on every track basically. So the compressor and the EQ, when you decide where you want the EQ, whether it's before or after the compressor. Now the bass sound, I really like pushing the bass EQ into the compressor. It sounds great. It just goes boom, together. But the problem is with that, then the top end is on the compressor too. So then it's kind of that air that I'm talking about is it's not coming down, but it's obviously not as open. So it'd be nice if there was a way of with the EQ, although they've got the low cut, if they had a high cut, so you could just high cut the EQ. So okay, it's only going to compress the bass, and so I can EQ into the bass. EQ into the compressor for the bass, but leave the top open. That'd be great. That'd be superb. Really, they need to build this, but in a multi-channel way, just so you can separate the top and the bottom. That would be excellent. I mean, it's still really good. I use I haven't been using it on full a lot. I'm usually using it around 120, maybe 60 hertz, but you can really hear a difference between them. It's massive, the difference. You can, because it suddenly opens the top. So if you've got it on 120, suddenly you're getting some really snappy snares going, and you can kind of leave the 60 hertz alone. Although, like I say, it would be lovely if you could just use it to compress those and EQ into those, leaving the top open. That would make it more versatile. But apart from that, massive thumbs up from me. They've got some plugins, I think. I haven't used those, so I couldn't comment on whether they sound the same. I know a couple of mix engineers who have said they're amazing, but they may not have listened to this. This is just really lovely. I'm going to get some more of their gear, hopefully, to check out and review. They've got some very new compressors and other mastering bits and pieces, so I'm definitely going to see if I can chat them up and borrow, hence keep any of their kit. So this is from Germany, Tegeler, I think. I don't know how much it retails for, you'll have to have a look online, but anyway, that's it. It's a thumbs up from me. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I always do pro audio reviews, headphone reviews, lot of speaker reviews, and I talk about mastering, mixing, and generally how to get a better sound for your studio. So if you can please subscribe and share this video, that'd be superb. That'd help me, gives me encouragement to do some more. Please comment, let me know what you think. Let me know any equipment you want me to review or any questions you've got on mixing and mastering. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.